Today I'm here to talk about one of my favorite VHS tapes. Damn it. Hello everyone. Today I'm here to talk about one of my favorite VHS tapes. Silk Ribbon Embroidery, 50 fabulous stitches. I'm fucking with you. We're talking about Two Against Nature. People's opinions on the quality of the reunion albums are something that separates people in the Steely Dan fan base. I don't know. Mainly it separates people who are sane, you know, the people that like the reunion albums, and people who are insane, who don't like them. Now let me just grab this off the shelf, because I actually had to sticky tack this down, because in previous takes it kept falling off. Damn it! But, just throw that on the floor. Two Against Nature, as many of you know, is Steely Dan's first album in 20 years, back in 2000. It was popular at the time, but these days some people really don't seem to like the reunion albums as a whole. You know, the reunion albums being Two Against Nature and Everything Must Go, which I already made a video about. Now, I don't really understand that, because most of the people that like the original run of Steely Dan albums like Donald Fagen's The Night Fly, too. And this might be a little bit of a controversial opinion. The reunion Steely Dan albums are basically Donald Fagen solo albums, with a little bit of Walter Becker sprinkled here and there. And that's not a problem. To me, at least. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion to have, but it's one that I have. And I feel like if you go into the albums thinking that, you'll kind of understand what I mean. Maybe not. Maybe you'll still think that I'm a crazy nut. But let's get into the tracks on these albums. On this album. Gaslighting Abby, you know, starts off the album. As soon as it starts, you get that punch, that like punch of audio. It's just great. It's a great track to start off the album. What a Shame About Me. One of my favorites off of this album. I don't think very many people think or talk about it that often, but yeah, that's one of my favorites. Two Against Nature, the title track. No Steely Dan songs are bad, and this one especially isn't bad. It's got like a very kind of like groovy, like kind of like, I don't know the word for it, but the drums and stuff are doing some interesting things. I like the song, but does it really fit with the other ones? Not so much. Janie Runaway, another great track, although sometimes I get it confused with Gaslighting Abby. I feel like most Steely Dan songs with a woman's name in the title, I kind of get confused. I used to get Bad Sneakers and Black Friday confused all the time, because they were on the same album and they both start with a B. I know it's kind of a dumb thing to say, but it happened to me a lot. And you know, they come right after each other. Almost Gothic, a great duet with the female backup singers. A lot of people love this track. There's even a whole video dissecting it with this girl. Some creepy comments on that, though. Jack of Speed, which is a song that they played on their 1996 Art Crimes tour, but Walter Becker did lead vocals on the tour version. In my opinion, the 1996 version is better. But that takes nothing away from the 2000 version. It is equally, well, not equally, it is just as great in some ways, but I feel like the 1996 version, I don't know, it really kind of just feels more in tune with the subject matter of the song. It feels a lot more urgent than the kind of laid-back sound of the song on the Two Against Nature album. Then after that we have Cousin Dupre, which was a minor hit when this album came out. It's kind of a it's kind of a weird subject matter to write a song about, you know, if you know what I'm talking about. It kind of elicits the same reaction at first as when you figure out what Everyone's Going to the Movies is about, which is another great song that I love. And Cousin Dupre has never really struck that much of a chord with me. I like the song. It is a great song, but I don't really find myself singing it, you know. There are certain songs that you hear and you just keep playing them over and over in your head. Cousin Dupre is not one of those for me. Okay, Negative Girl is also one of my favorites off the album. Probably the most underrated track on this entire album. I love it. They've never played it live for some reason. Apparently the reason that they've never played it live, and this is hearsay, apparently, is that Donald Fagen wrote this song about his wife, Libby Titus. I don't know how true that is, but that's just what I've heard, and that's why they don't want to play it live, because Libby knows, apparently. And then a great closer, West of Hollywood, which is the longest Steely Dan song, longer than Asia by like 10 seconds or something. Masterful work. Honestly, they could have not released Everything Must Go, even though I love that album. They could have not released it, and West of Hollywood would have been an amazing send-off for the band. It's got I forget how long it is, but a very long saxophone solo, and it's just orgasmic, you know what I mean? It is a great track. Maybe it runs a little bit too long, the solo, but honestly, I think it's impressive how long it is. And it kind of takes away from maybe it being a little bit too long. So that was my quick rundown of all the tracks on the album. I'm kind of speeding through this because, you know, I go through this. I don't make scripts for these videos. I just go off of what's in my head, and nothing's really coming to me right now. But let's talk about the development of this album and some of the tracks that were cut. So, from all accounts, Donald and Walter really started considering writing songs for a new album in 1996. And that's where all the songs that were played live were written, either then or like the year before. Jack of Speed, what was the other one? Wet Side Story and Cash on the Island were the songs that were played live that were apparently written for their album that was coming up. Only one of those made it, and it was a changed version with some altered lyrics, and obviously Walter wasn't on vocals anymore. Wet Side Story and Cash on the Island. Wet Side Story is okay. I can understand why they cut it. I am a big fan of Cash on the Island, though. It's got that kind of slow funk groove kind of feel, and it's just a enjoyable track overall. I would have loved to have seen what they could have done with it if they made an album version, but unfortunately it was cut. There are some other songs that were apparently worked on for this album. I don't know when they were written. I don't think 96, but there is an image floating around on the internet from, I believe it originates from the Steely Dan website back in the day, of a preliminary track listing for Two Against Nature that features some mystery songs. I don't know if they were added in as like a joke, but the general consensus seems to be that they were actually planned for the album. And if I recall correctly, I'll edit this in if I'm wrong, because I'm a lazy asshole who doesn't want to restart the recording or make a new, or like cut, you know. There's a track called Sharon, also referred to sometimes as Sharon's Room. There's a track called Tigers, and a track called Things, I believe. We don't know if Things is Things I Miss the Most that would appear on their next album, Everything Must Go, or if it's or if it's a track that was referred to in an interview around that time about a track that was cut from the album called Shape of Things to Go. That's a line in the title track, but the way they said it made it sound like it was a track that was being worked on. So maybe that was the original title of the title track, or maybe it was an early version. Maybe they smashed two songs together and got the title track. I don't know. But depending on how you look at it, there's either a unreleased song called Things and Shape of Things to Go, or there's one unreleased song with those both being the same song under a different title. Because they did shorten some of those for the preliminary track listing. I don't know why, it just seems to be a general practice for these kind of things. You can see the color of the CD here is orange. Now, if I recall correctly, the original color of this CD, when it was in the planning stages of like the design and stuff, was supposed to be green. So that's a fun little fact. And I'm running out of things to say. This album is great, in my opinion. And the people that dislike it and dislike the reunion albums, and dislike the reunion albums as a whole are crazy. They're just old kooks who don't want to admit that the new stuff is good, in my opinion. That's my opinion on the reunion albums. Now that I've covered both of them, I might move on to other albums. But really, the reason why I haven't covered any of the other ones is that I like to own the stuff I talk about. This may be a little bit embarrassing. As of now, the only Steely Dan albums I own physically are this, Everything Must Go, and two pre-Dan bootlegs of the pre-Dan demos, and A Decade of Steely Dan, which is a compilation CD from 1985. I don't know why they called it A Decade of Steely Dan if the band started in 72 and that was released in 85. I've never really understood. That's all for today regarding this album, but I want to talk about the channel that you're watching this on right now, hopefully watching this on, if I actually get around to making it. This channel is not going to be tied to Steely Dan per se. I may upload Steely Dan content onto it, talking about the albums. It's not a channel for uploading audio like Stevie Daniel is. But this channel will basically be a free channel where I can talk about anything I want, anything I damn please, under this name. I have other channels out there. I have like 7 YouTube accounts because I'm kind of OCD about uploading things on specific channels. So I have a channel for CDs that I pick up at thrift stores that haven't been ripped online, and a channel that my very first channel that has very embarrassing videos on it. But yeah, new channel. You're watching this video on that new channel right now. This is for whatever I want to upload. Not like just me turning on the camera though, because that would be boring. This is stuff that actually has work put into it, like this video. Even if you think that it's just this fat fuck talking to the camera about an album, it can't be that hard to make. This is gonna sound lazy of me. It takes a lot of effort for me to actually get up and record a video, because I don't like my own voice. I think I sound like I have a wad of peanut butter in my mouth, or like I'm trying to swallow my own tongue. So I don't like to talk in videos a lot, as you can tell, because there haven't been very many videos where I talk. But the only way to cure that is to make more and more videos where I talk, because I'll get used to it. So yeah, like I said, this channel is for uploading whatever I want under this name that I take, Skeevy. I'm going to call myself Skeevy on this channel, I guess. And it's just going to act as a kind of secondary channel to Skeevy, not in the way that it's explicitly Steely Dan videos, but that it's the same person making them, and the same kind of humor, and the same aura, I guess you could say. because really with the Skeevy Daniel channel, I found that it was kind of limiting, because I didn't feel like I could upload the type of content that I wanted to do all the time, because that channel is primarily focused around archiving Steely Dan audio and video and media, and I did upload a couple videos that didn't fit that mold. I don't feel they really should be on there. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm making this new channel that you're watching this video on. You know, wink, wink. So that the people that actually like to watch this kind of content, it's probably like 2% of my viewers, and I'm fine with that. I know I'm not the most interesting guy to listen to, and I don't have the most intriguing opinions, and most people come to that Skeevy Daniel channel just to hear Steely Dan music, and I understand that, and that's why I keep uploading to that, because I like to give back to people. Well, I like to provide easier ways for people that maybe don't want to have a hard drive full of 200 gigabytes of Steely Dan demos and live shows and stuff. So in my opinion, I feel like I'm providing a service, much like Al Capone did. But yeah, I'm sorry if most of this video was me rambling on about the new channel and not necessarily Two Against Nature, but I didn't have much to say. Love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video on the new channel. Peace out.